Hi guys, I just wanted to do a quick video and introduce myself. My name's Chris and I'm getting ready to have the gastric sleeve surgery done on November 10th, 2014. And I really just wanted to document my experience uh, for the whole experience. And there's so many videos out there that show you kind of the before and after, but there wasn't really a lot that showed me the during, or the different steps. um, People would kind of talk about their experiences throughout the steps, but they wouldn't really document. And I'm a person that really likes things explained to them, and so I just kind of wanted a better idea of what to expect throughout the entire process, and not just the before and a little bit of the during and the after. So this is my experience. A little bit of background on me. I've been overweight my entire life. I actually have a picture that I think I might show you guys that it was taken when I was 2 years old, and it just kind of shows almost the setup of how my life was going to go based on this picture. And what I mean by that is I was 2 years old and I was really chunky. And the only thing that you can see in the picture is me standing on a scale, 2 years old, naked, and everybody around me is laughing. And it really kind of makes me, I know that, my family never meant anything by it, but it really makes me sad because it was really just kind of leading up to how my life was going to go. And, I kind of, from the age of 4 to 6 was, normal weight, but then I started gaining weight. And then, when I was probably in 5th grade, my mom put me on Weight Watchers, and I lost weight from the summer between 5th grade and 6th grade. And I can remember that was really one of the times in my life that I really felt good about myself, because I felt normal and I felt sort of accepted by all my friends, and I felt like I fit in. And then after that, going through puberty, my weight just started climbing again, and never really, other than that, 10-minute time frame in high school when I starved myself to lose 30 pounds. Of course, that never lasted either. So I've done every diet you could even imagine, including the cabbage soup diet. I did HCG, which I know a lot of people are, they kind of give you the look, but that actually really did work good. Keeping it off is a different story. I mean, everybody really has to be responsible for maintaining their weight loss. So that's not, I mean, that was on me. That was my fault. 7 years ago, I actually went to see a surgeon for weight loss surgery, and at the time, my insurance wouldn't cover the surgery, so I wasn't able to do it. So for the last 7 years, I've just really been thinking about what I can do in order to have the surgery and how I can finance it. And fortunately, I have a job now that has amazing insurance, and everything's happened really fast. I went in on the 1st of October, and that same day they gave me a surgery date. I mean, everything was just really fast. So there's a part of me that's kind of expecting for something to go wrong and something to kind of get in the way of this finally happening for me after 7 years. And although, it really kind of was a blessing in disguise, because at the time I really wanted to have lap band surgery. And since then, there's been a lot of people that have actually had to go in and have not only the band taken out, but reconstructive surgery on their internal organs, because the band has, squeezed off the blood flow to certain parts. And so that's kind of scary. But on the flip side, it's been 7 years. I'm now on blood pressure medication. Um, I'm a little bit heavier than I was, and I actually take two different blood pressure medications. One's a water pill and one's the actual to control my blood pressure. Um, my dad has diabetes, so ultimately that is what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want to have to take insulin shots for the rest of my life, and I don't want to have a heart attack. He's had multiple um, strokes and a couple heart attacks, and um, I don't want to get to that point. I want to live the rest of my life happy and healthy and be here for my kids. And I want to be able to go to amusement parks with my kids and fit on the rides. I want to be able to go to a movie theater and feel comfortable in the seats. I want to go to a restaurant and not have to check this, the the booth out, make sure I'm going to fit in it, and feel embarrassed when I can hardly eat because my stomach is pushed up against the table so far. There's just so many aspects to it that I'm really ready to do at this time. I had my endoscopy yesterday. It went really well. The whole process was really fairly simple, and I don't remember a lot of it, but I guess that's what's supposed to happen. So they did end up finding um, 3 ulcers in my stomach, and so they did 3 different biopsies, um, which I was really kind of shocked to hear, but at the same time, it kind of was like, oh, okay, well, that's why I always have heartburn or indigestion. So I'm really not sure how that's going to, what they're going to do other than medication. They told my husband at the time that it would not affect anything with my surgery, so that's good. So I kind of wanted to go into a little bit more of that because, that's something that I had a question about that I couldn't find the answer to. What was the endoscopy like? What happened? What was the whole, from start to finish, what happened? So if you don't want to hear it and you've already been through it, then, you can probably fast forward to the end. But if you are getting ready to have the procedure and you would like to hear about it, then I'll just kind of give you some details about what they did. So when I got into the hospital, I filled out some paperwork, paid my copay, they put a bracelet on me, and then I had to go back and do a pregnancy test, a urine test. And then they took me back to my room, and I got my gown on, and they put the IV in, asked me a few questions, and then I really just sat there and waited for about a half an hour until it was my turn. And then they came and got me and wheeled me back to the operating room. And the nurse, um, was getting my arm cuff ready for the blood pressure machine. And the doctor came in, my surgeon came in and talked to me, just asked me a few questions. And then the nurse came over and she sprayed this numbing spray down my throat, which was the absolute worst part of the whole thing. I actually gagged on it. It was so terrible and gross. And, they just spray so much of it that it makes you gag. And so you have to swallow it. And then she hooked the medicine that makes you fall asleep into my IV. And then they put a mouth guard in my mouth and had me turn on my side. And really from that point, I remember looking at my doctor maybe for 2 seconds and then I was out. I do have one really fuzzy, faint memory of waking up gagging as they're sticking the scope down my throat. But, it was just a quick, he probably just didn't wait long enough for me to be asleep. And I think they do that on purpose because they want you to swallow. Because I kind of remember him saying swallow, and but then that's it. The next thing I remember, I was waking up in the recovery, back in my recovery room, and it didn't take me long to recover. I think it took me a lot longer to recover after my C-section because I think I was so tired. But it took me about an hour and a half to recover after my C-section. And this was literally probably 10 or 15 minutes, and my husband was there and ready to take me home. So it was really very quick. The only thing that I had afterwards was just a mild sore throat, and I was really groggy for probably. I had my procedure done at 9:30, and I started feeling not so groggy around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it wasn't too bad. It went pretty quick, and like I said, you don't really remember much about it. I don't really remember a lot of the drive home. I do remember we stopped and got a milkshake on the way home because my throat was kind of. I hadn't eaten. You can't eat after midnight the night before, but I think I stopped at like 10. And so I was really hungry, but I wasn't hungry for any food, but I just kind of wanted something cold. So we stopped and got a milkshake, and then I came home and slept. So that's it. I mean, it was really very simple. Don't do a lot of research on it before you do it, because I'm glad that I didn't. I kind of did my research when I got home, but there's a lot of horror stories of people who, don't remember fighting with the doctors, and the doctors actually weren't able to perform it because they were not able to get the scope in. And so that was it. So tomorrow I meet with my nutritionist and my mental health doctor to get that over with. So they'll probably tell me when I'll be starting my liquid diet, if any. My BMI is really, really close to. I'm actually like a half a point below where my BMI is supposed to be. So tomorrow when I go in, I'm actually going to wear heavy clothes just to make sure that I'm meeting that BMI, but I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I think it'll be fine. I did want to share with you a few things that I've bought just to be prepared. Of course, I haven't bought too much because I want to make sure that I speak with the nutritionist first and kind of go over that with them. But I know that I'll be needing protein shakes, and so I did find this at grocery outlet. It was actually like $17.99 for this huge thing of protein, and they actually have strawberry and vanilla and chocolate. I ended up getting the chocolate one, but it's called Super Advanced Whey Protein, and it has for 2 scoops it has 60 grams of protein in it. So 1 scoop would be 30 grams, but that's still, I mean, really, really good. It doesn't have a lot of sugar in it, because I know that's one thing we have to watch. So 1 scoop only has 2 grams of sugar, and it has 7 grams of carbs. Calories are 170. So I figure I'll just keep this one on hand. If there's another one they recommend, then I can always get that one, but just kind of keep that one in the background. I found these today. These are probably not going to be something I'm going to be able to have until I'm on pureed foods, but I found them on the clearance bin at Costco, and they are fruit and veggie twist, and this one's apple, mango, pear, and kale. So I figure I could probably just keep these in my purse. They do kind of have a little more sugar than is recommended, but it's all natural sugar. It's not like it's added sugar to it. It's from the fruit. So I'm not too concerned about that. But one pouch has a half a cup of fruit. So if I'm only able to eat half of this at a time, it's a quarter cup of fruit. And it has the cap on it, so I can eat more later if I want. So I figure I'll just keep them in my car or whatever. And then I did get some chicken stock. Chicken stock actually has more protein, a little bit more protein than chicken broth. So I did get chicken stock, and I'm not really a fan of beef broth, so I decided to just do the chicken. And I did make sure there's no MSG, because my body doesn't handle MSG very good. So the only other thing that I really wanted to show you was, my son has Sippy cups, so I'm not going to go buy one, but that's probably what I'll use, in the beginning to kind of use to not gulp my food or my drinks. And then I also have a little tiny bowl pretty little bowl that I think my mom gave me a set. It comes with bigger ones, and then a little spoon. So that's what I'll probably be using in the beginning. Like I said, I haven't gotten too much stuff yet, so I will post in my blog tomorrow regarding my nutritionist visit. And other than that, I just wanted to introduce myself to all of you, and I hope that you can join me in my journey. I'm really excited for it, so I'll be talking to you soon.